The University Tower chimes ring in another session of Ask the Professor, the show on which you match wits with University of Detroit Mercy professors in an unrehearsed session of sweaty questions and answers. I'm your host, Matt Maggio, and let me introduce to you our panel for today. Oh, man, I got to transition to Beth, but I did not mean to make that a direct connection. I'm sorry.
I totally don't believe you.
I saw you with your dabbing your forehead. It is a little warm in the studio. It's Professor Beth Oljar. It's really obvious.
Well,
Sorry.
it could be August in the Briggs building.
Seriously, but it's April.
Yeah, it's
sad.
kind of warm.
It's
Briggs
sad.
10 gets really hot.
Did you just say you're
In this
dabbing?
basement.
I did. I'm dabbing.
She's dabbing.
I'm fanning.
Some people are fanning. Some people are dabbing.
the vapors.
Some people are doing the gritty.
We
vapors.
have the vapors.
We've got the vapors.
The vapors. Oh my word!
Just like Lindsey Graham.
He lives in the vapors.
No kidding.
Your kind.
All right.
We are very glad to have Professor Kieran Ahrens back from the Department of Philosophy as a guest panelist.
Great to see you again.
You only get to be a guest panelist once, Kieran.
And then you
every
become a
time
regular.
After that, you become a regular.
Irregular, like the rest of us.
Yes, and irregular like the rest
If you
of us.
want to blow off steam any Friday afternoon, stop by the studio.
Well, you can also sweat it off, too.
I know there's
There
there
are a
is-
couple have never been invited back.
Yeah. But we weren't supposed to say that on the air.
Sorry.
not in front of Kieran.
Unbelievable.
So don't call us, we'll call you.
Submit a resume. Heather will do a search.
Kieran, give us some totally triumphant hope from your democracy analysis class this semester from young people.
From who?
From young
The
people.
wheels are turning.
Wheels are turning. The wheels of justice.
You know, the current unit we're on is about maybe if you want to realize democracy, you should be trying to realize something else.
Okay.
In this unit, we listen to the anarchists.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, you might just get democracy without even trying.
Well, you know, Athenian democracy was not too far off from anarchy.
Oh, my.
Well, yeah, I mean, property-owning men. Although I've sometimes thought I might be a philosophical anarchist.
Twice he's been asked to say something positive. You're putting a lot of pressure on him.
He's being
Yeah.
realistic.
In this economy?
In this day and age, yeah. Really?
Tres leches en esta economía.
Feed us, and then we'll talk about democracy.
Let me know after November.
Let's move on to the other part of the Miss America pageant here. Dan Maggio, what do you think democracy is? What does democracy mean to you?
Oh, I like walks on beaches.
And world peace.
And world peace.
World peace.
PEAS.
Are you also going to do the Miss Thailand dance, too?
We're going to get bad mail from this.
Yeah, we are.
And a nice
We
bathing
are.
suit.
Well, it could just be ruled by the mob, like Plato thought it was.
The Ask the Professor pageant will not be coming anytime soon.
Oh, Dan is wearing a sash.
Wait, he is? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I didn't even
Hey,
notice.
it's warm enough. That's awesome.
Maybe he's
If
the
you-
mayor of Berkeley
He's
now that I
Mr.
think
Michigan.
about it. Yeah.
Oh, poor Dan.
What's going on with Dan?
Nothing. Curling season is over.
I know the Olympics are over. Sorry.
I didn't watch any, which is
So I can't talk about that anymore.
There was some exciting curling this year.
There was.
Well, you could talk about the Olympic prices for L.A.
That's right.
Those
Start
tickets are
buying your
outrageous,
tickets. Start buying your
The
tickets.
Summer
folks.
Olympics don't have curling.
So they're in
Sorry.
2028.
Really?
Yes.
Uh-huh. They're selling tickets now,
If anybody comes,
if anybody can afford it.
Yikes.
It's too hot.
No comment.
I worry about the World Cup. Who's going to show up?
No comment at all.
Yeah.
All the way across the table, always on the other side of the forest of microphones. It's Professor Jim Tubbs.
Hello,
Yes,
hello.
What's going on, Jim?
Well, not a whole lot. I'm trying to see you through the many arms.
It's best that you just keep your eyes closed.
Okay. And imagine you.
If this was a Zoom, I would not be turning.
I'll
on
just
my,
imagine you.
Yeah, it's been a rough week. Feel a little beat up.
If you want, I'll draw a map for you.
Okay.
You know. Professor Dave Chow is here with tiny cupcake in hand.
Yes, I'm trying to eat it eventually, so.
You're just holding on to
I'm
it.
holding on because I know you're going to call on me as soon as
No.
I put it in my mouth. That's all.
That's right. As soon as you're eating, that's when you'll call
You're like
you.
a waiter.
That's why
my
Matt
gosh.
hasn't had one yet.
I know, because I don't need to gum up the works.
Well, you could. We won't mind.
But the listeners might. You never know.
Oh, I don't know. Gummy Matt would still be a thrill to listen to.
Gummy artisans who work entirely in the medium of gummy. Professor Stephen Manning is here.
Hello, Matt.
There was somebody that carved a gummy Venus de Milo. You don't know.
A gummy Venus
They
de
did.
Milo.
They did. Absolutely. I saw it on The Simpsons. What's going on, Stephen?
Not much. Catching up on sleep.
That's always a good thing. A different time zone, right?
Waiting for the weather
Right?
to finally change.
Almost there.
Almost there.
Although a lot of things are blooming right now, Professor.
They are. Yes, yes. We've had a couple rounds of daffodils coming up and then getting snowed on, and same thing happens, couple of cycles of that. But we
Nice.
think we're finally done with that. My lawn is being ripped up by squirrels.
Yes.
Because we no longer have the dog.
Right.
So
You need to get another
it
dog.
feels a little weird to get a dog just to save the lawn. But
I tell you what,
who knows?
you know,
You
that
don't
may be
need
just what
any
you have
reason
to
to
do.
get a dog, and therefore it follows that doing it for your lawn is just as good as any other reason.
You catch us at the right moment, and who knows? May
Okay.
have a big furry thing here someday.
You just need a philosopher to spin these things.
Yeah, no.
No. I'm sure you still have dog food laying around that you need to be gotten rid of. That's all.
That's right. It needs to be
We
eaten.
got rid of it mostly to neighbors who have dogs.
You could always just adopt one of the groundhogs from the front yard.
The whistle pigs, yes.
They're going to come back because the dog ate like 4 of them or something.
Well, you
while
didn't
we
eat
have
them. You would just
Yeah, I think
break their
Grover and
necks.
Gracie are still in my backyard. So.
Vile creatures.
Anyway.
So I've been saving this all week. Professor Heather Hill is here with us. This Reddit that I'm on is all about Detroit.
Hey.
And I thought it was cute. It was sort of taken over recently by a bunch of people who have green thumbs. And the question that was posed, no actual answer, I just thought it was fun, was in the world of the phenology, which is just following what the plants do, what is the thing that symbolizes spring in southeastern Michigan? And people had said the daffodils in Palmer Park. They said the forsythia, of course, the forsythia, right? Well, how would you answer that question as someone with a pretty green thumb?
Wow.
Yeah, putting you on
Later
the
spring,
spot,
I'd say the
sorry.
crab apple
How
trees.
about when you start smelling a hyacinth?
Oh, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good one.
So you
smell is a
smell
big
before
deal.
you see.
I was thinking like Polish sausage at Comerica Park.
I thought this was flower specific.
It's flower specific.
Oh,
They do not
there is
grow
not
in
a
the
sausage flower
There
out
is no
there.
sausage.
A friend of
flour,
mine
I'm
has
sorry.
lilacs in her backyard, and the smell is just amazing.
Oh, when those come
It's a
out,
wonderful
yeah,
smell.
they're beautiful.
Wonderful smell.
Yeah.
Good. I'm going to send you a link to that so you can read what all these other people wrote because it was actually pretty cute.
Okay, thank you.
This is a program, folks. We can send us questions regarding anything. If you stump the panel, you'll receive a brand new edition of the ATP coffee mug and the autographed photograph of the professors. If you don't stump the panel, we'll send you the autographed photograph, I guess. You can send us the questions in a number of ways. You can email us at atp@udmercy.edu. Find us on Facebook and Instagram. Listen on your favorite smart speaker. Also by asking it to play Ask the Professor at University of Detroit Mercy. Dear Matt and professors, it's been nearly a whole month since I sent in questions. Shame on me.
Uh-oh.
Not sending in questions to ATP within a timely manner is sacrilegious, and I'm going to add sacrilegious as well.
Wait, is this like
Please
confession?
find in your warm and generous hearts to forgive the trespass now that we buttered you up. We hope the attached 20 varied questions will prove challenging and perplexing. We hope they provide a good fodder for your hilarious banter and joy. Warmest greetings, as always, from Valencia, California. Frank and the family Burrows.
here we
sent
go
these
again.
questions. Here we go.
These are always fun.
According to Bureau of Labor Statistics, ? What percentage of the United States claims Hispanic or Latin descent?
24.
30?
I got 24, I got 30,
23.
11, 23,
18.
27,
A bit of
18.
doubt.
Beth's got to venture a guess.
I think it's in the 20s.
I mean, Stephen is closest. It says 19.5 as of the last census. But, you know, we don't know anything about our country anymore because the Bureau of Labor Statistics was dismantled.
Recently deported.
And
Yeah,
how
that's
many
another
people
thing.
actually want to admit that they are of Hispanic
that is true.
descent?
That is
I'm not
absolutely
tanning
true.
anymore.
Yep. Charles Joughin, 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 had an important position on the Titanic. Jim, what was it?
Look out.
Charles Joughin?
Yeah.
He was the chef.
I don't remember that name.
I mean, you're pretty close, Stephen. Yeah, you're pretty close.
Sous chef?
He was the chef?
Stevedore.
Stevedore, we had that in a recent question.
was he the sommelier? Was he the
Yeah, I mean, we start branching off from chef.
Pastry chef.
You know, it's going to Heather. He was the chief baker of the Titanic.
Oh,
He was
the guy
considered-
that drank half a bottle of booze and then jumped off.
That's exactly right.
Water, yeah.
He was the last survivor who left the ship, treaded water for over 2 hours, and then was picked up.
That he treaded water for 2 hours is
In
the
those
miracle there.
Incredible.
28-degree water.
Incredible.
Because
Incredible.
his souffle fell.
Yeah, how did he not?
But he claimed
But
later
his
it's because he
souffle
had a real stiff drink
That
before he
is-
jumped. That would have killed him faster.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's like martinis don't get mixed up that well.
Water was 28 degrees?
Something like that.
28 degrees, yes. The air temperature was 32, but the water temperature was 28.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Professors, what is Art Garfunkel's middle name? Because, you get asked this a lot.
Arthur.
Paul.
It's not Paul.
You gonna give us an initial?
It starts with the letter I.
Ignatius.
Ike.
It's not Ignatius. It's not Ike.
Ichabod.
It's not Ichabod.
It's not
It's not
Isaac?
Ian. It's not Isaac.
Irene.
Ishmael.
It's not Ishmael. Oh,
Jinx.
jinx.
Abraham?
It's
No.
it's a very short
Isidore.
name that is also
Icarus?
Ivan. Ike.
Ira.
It's not like it's Ira.
Oh, it is
I
Ira.
couldn't get Irish Republican
Oh,
Army
okay.
out of
Yeah,
my,
that's
This American Life.
That's a good one.
IRA. Yeah.
Yes.
Ira Glass. Ira Flato.
This is Ira Glass.
Manhattan real estate people call this neighborhood Clinton, but it's way more popularly known as
Oh, Harlem.
not Harlem.
Hell's Kitchen?
Hell's Kitchen is what it says here. Yes.
Was that in reference to the president?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Didn't the Clintons set up shop in Harlem? I think.
They did when she ran for senator. Yeah,
Yep.
maybe. Yeah. But I don't think that that's what this is referring. Yeah. I thought that these were long-standing, like neighborhood nicknames, just like we have in the Metro
Yeah.
Detroit area, like Manhattan, But I subscribe to this group online that's like Cool Maps. And apparently the boundaries and the names of the neighborhoods in New York have changed in just the last 50 years. So you go look and it's all like,
Surprised me.
yeah, it's sort of interesting. It's not been that way forever, in other words. If one types in, oh, this is wonderful, don't do it, Hudsons.com, looking for the defunct department store from Detroit, they'll get redirected immediately to this URL. What is it?
Hudson Bay Company?
Is it something
kinda
Dan
cool.
Gilbert owns?
Like Macy's or something
No,
like that?
it's not Macy's. It's not Dan Gilbert.
Is it like a
There was no car called Hudson.
Yeah.
risky clothing line?
Who else? Who also have taken them
You
out?
don't remember who bought Hudson's, huh?
It was Marshall Fields,
Marshall
wasn't it?
Field bought Hudson's.
But then right after that, somebody bought Marshall Fields.
Target.
It was Target.com. Yeah, Target. It sends you to
Oh.
Target.com. I love the fact that they own the URL, Hudsons.com. That's crazy.
Well, Cyber
Oh,
Squad
man.
it. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Kate.
I'm sure you find the same merchandise that you used to find at Hudson's at Target.
How can I let this go by? Look it up because it's an absolute scream. Of course, it was 25, 20 years ago, whatever. But the guy, Google originally did not have Google.com as its URL. It was something more extensive than that. And a guy knew it was going to be big, so he went and registered Google.com with the people that sell those URLs and got hit up by Google and gave it back to them for $6,000.
Wow. I'm surprised it wasn't 6
what?
million.
Yeah, or billion.
I would've
So how can somebody smart enough to know to do that, not smart enough to know
People
to
do
hold
this
out?
all the time.
They do it all the
this
time.
There are
Startups
people
that they know are gonna go
full-time
someplace.
jobs.
Oh, no. And then also with names. Like right now, I found out DaveChow.com is, they want $750 for it.
Oh man, you got to get that.
John Oliver does this all the time.
Yeah, no, you squat
does.
you squat popular names. That's all.
You probably have seen the camping goods store REI before, but what do those initials stand for?
Recreational Equipment Incorporated?
It's actually Recreational Equipment Incorporated.
Okay.
It's from our part of the country. So
It is.
I look at Kieran because you went to graduate school.
1930s, right?
I love that store.
On the TV show The Addams Family, how does Uncle Fester alleviate his migraines?
Dan?
Oh, he puts his head in a vice.
He puts his
Yeah.
head in a
Yeah,
vice.
Yeah, that furniture vice.
Screw press is what it's
Okay.
called, but it's a vice.
Oh
It's
my
definitely a vice. Frank really knows how to hit everybody at the table, Professor Manning. What MLB pitcher has thrown the most pitches in one game, and how many pitches was it?
Oh my gosh, that's a great question.
I can give you this: 1974 versus your Boston Red Sox.
74.
Yes.
Carl Yastrzemski.
I hate to say it, it's
wasn't even
probably a
pitcher.
Yankee.
It wasn't a Yank.
Yankee.
Are you ready for this? Are you sitting down?
I was thinking Tom Seaver.
19 total strikeouts for the game. 10 walks. They lost the game in the 15th inning, and he walked away with a no decision.
Wow.
Just incredible. Who was it pitching for the California Angels
Angels.
in a 15-inning game?
he got into a fight with that guy Bulldog. And what was his name?
No, that was the Red Sox pitcher.
Was it?
Yeah, this is
That was
an
Pedro
Angel. That was
Martinez.
Pedro Martinez.
This
I mean, it's one of the greatest pitchers of all time.
74.
74.
Angels. 74.
California
who
Angels.
who was a great pitcher for the Angels?
In 74.
74. Yep. At the start of his career.
Nolan Ryan.
It was Nolan Ryan
that's
right
right.
there. And
Yes,
here we
good
go.
job. Good job.
How many pitches did he throw at that game?
Well,
Wow.
he didn't pitch all 15 innings,
no.
presumably.
He only pitched 13
pitched
of the 15 innings.
Only 13.
And how many strikeouts did he have?
He had 19 strikeouts for the game.
So he pitched 150
9 times
pitches.
3.
No, it's got to be more than that.
No,
gotta
it's
be more.
less.
More?
It could be
Think about What
less.
happens to your rotator cuff?
89.
No.
No.
It's got to be 210.
They pitch 89 when they're taken out after 6.
Oh.
Yeah, but this is
you
back
right
in the
now.
day when those guys
If he
would
had
pitch
that
forever.
many strikeouts, he didn't have
Yeah.
a lot of long innings.
160. 160.
This paper says he pitched 235.
Oh, wow.
I said over 200.
You did. You did.
Whoa.
That is incredible. Nobody does that anymore. Tarek Skubal takes a
that's
phone
2
call in the
games.
6th inning, and he's like, "Yeah,
He was
I'm done.
icing down
I'm all
his
set."
shoulder for another 200.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, starters are now geared to pitch 6 innings.
Only 5 or 6.
5
That's
or
right.
6, then
Yep.
they're out.
What was the subject matter of the very first photo that was posted on Instagram? This is one of those. Do you
Wasn't it
remember
like,
the guy was giving a tour of a zoo for the first posting on YouTube?
Like something at Taco Bell or something like that.
You're very
Dan
close.
Epstein?
You're
It
very
was,
close.
oh God, I've heard this before.
A cat trying to get up a greased pole.
Cat eating a taco.
I'm bringing all 3 of your ideas together.
The guy Tom.
It was a picture of a dog
Yep.
near a taco truck, is what it was.
Okay.
Take one little bit of everything you all said.
Was he the actual founder of MySpace?
Maybe they just want you to think that.
Why not?
Because he looks
Yeah.
friendly.
Yeah, I know that photo is still floating around the internet.
Over the entire lifespan of a typical automobile, what percentage of the lifespan of the car is spent in park?
Too much.
99.9.
This is the average.
We've
I
got
would-
99.9.
I would
Kieran's nodding.
Most of it.
Most of it is
yeah.
a good answer.
80%.
You got 80%.
I'd say 89%.
89.
I was gonna say, yeah, 90.
91.574322.
I'm giving it to you. 95% is what it says here.
Wow.
Is spent in park.
Nailed it.
That's
Close enough.
you want to go like check out the car. I know Kieran was buying a car recently. He's like, let me get a sense of what it's going to be like in park here. That's most of the lifetime. So,
Mine would be higher than that.
it would be even higher than
In fact,
that.
I got this low mileage discount thing through
Oh my gosh.
State Farm, and every 6 months when it renews, they ask for an odometer
I hope
reading.
you get a kickback for that
And then they
remark.
call me. Then they call me, especially in the winter. I don't
Oh,
drive
yeah.
it much. They
Oh,
call
yeah.
me and say, "Are you sure you're not
Wow.
reading the total?" I
'Cause
know
it's
how
a
to read an
little-
odometer.
Yeah,
You'd like to come by the
Because
house
it's the
and take a
little
picture of
two-seater
it.
sports car, so we usually drive my Tucson most
Right.
of the time. So
What category did Sir Winston Churchill win his Nobel Prize in 1953?
could you
Literature.
repeat that?
In what category did Sir Winston
you.
Churchill win his Nobel Prize in 1953? Beth said literature. He's exactly correct. Absolutely. Literature.
Probably for the history of World War II.
Yep.
I'm guessing.
On the Hollywood Walk of Fame, who got their star first?
Ooh,
Pee Wee Herman or Paul Rubens?
Pee Wee Herman.
Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
That's a fair guess. It also says here, trick question, Paul Rubens does not have a star on the Hollywood Walk of
Oh,
Fame.
That's too bad.
but Pee Wee Herman does.
But Pee Wee Herman does.
The
yeah.
boroughs are tricking us.
We love your alter ego, but you, get out of here.
Yeah, go away.
The Mattel doll Barbie has a full name. Do you remember what it is?
Barbara.
It is Barbara is the start. She
Barbara
has
Jean.
a middle name that starts with M and a last name that starts with R.
Barbara Marie.
No, Barbara.
Michelle.
Millicent.
Millicent is her middle name.
Yeah, I remember
Barbara
some snooty
Millicent.
name. That's all I remember.
Rogers.
Well, you're really close.
Roberts.
Barbara Millicent Roberts. I almost gave it to you,
Roberts?
Rogers,
Okay.
because
So
it's
what
that
is
kind of a
Ken's whole
Friday.
name?
That's a good question. Does
how about
not say.
Midge?
He
Does
doesn't
not
need
say.
it.
He just can.
He's eye candy.
BMR.
He is Knuff. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, what state has the highest percentage of Canadians?
Hey.
Maine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In what
Maine
sense?
is number 2.
In what sense?
Vermont.
I think by population. is what it
Montana.
means. Yep.
Vermont.
Montana is not in the top 5. Vermont is number 3.
Washington.
Washington is not in the top 5.
Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania is not in the top 5.
I feel like Michigan.
Michigan's number 5. New York's not
New
in the
Hampshire.
top 5.
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire is number 1. So we've got New Hampshire, Maine, you said,
I gotta
Vermont,
say,
you said,
New Hampshire.
blank, and Michigan. What's the missing one? Starts with the letter M.
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Are you ready? Michigan has 0.35% of its population of
Yikes.
Canadian nationals. That goes all the way up to New Hampshire. 0.88%
Oh,
of
that's
the
still
population is
0.8.
Canadian nationals.
Turns out Canadians are fine where they are.
They're pretty
I was
good.
going to say, obviously, people are just leaving Canada.
Took the words
left
out of
and
my
right.
mouth.
Not really.
90+% of the Canadian population lives within 50 miles of the border with the United States.
What percent? 90?
90%.
It used to be 100 miles. Now it's 50.
Yeah, I think it's getting closer.
I spilled over and I didn't know what to do.
Where was or what was
2 miles from the border.
what was John Wayne's collegiate alma mater?
Ooh.
He was pre-law, but had to drop out due to the loss of his athletic scholarship.
Stanford, USC,
Oh,
UCLA.
you hit it. USC. He was at USC. He broke his collarbone during a body surfing incident and left the football. Of course he did, because he's John Wayne. You know, it's this. In what city was Office Max, the company, founded?
I'm just reeling that you just said John Wayne was a sponger.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now. Body surfing. Seriously.
You should watch Trumbo, that movie, to get a different view of John Wayne.
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis is a good guess. I'll give you broadly. It's definitely Midwestern. I'll even
Chicago.
give you another level. It's very Rust Belt. Very Rust Belt.
Cleveland.
Cleveland. Oh, I say Rust Belt immediately. You say Cleveland. Cleveland, Ohio, 1988. That was Office Max.
88.
What 4 British civilian liners? Oh, here we go, Jim. Were used during the 82 Falklands War.
Okay, the QE2 was one of them.
That is correct.
Was the Oriana used as one of them?
I don't see that.
P&O Orient. Coronia. I'm trying to remember which
No.
ones
Queen Mary is
existed
still
then.
in California, right?
Yeah, the Queen Mary was already retired at that point. Let me think. No.
QE2 and one other was used for troop transport, it says. What was the other?
Trying to remember what.
Same name as a big city in Australia.
Sydney.
Starts with the letter C.
Canberra?
Oh, the Canberra. Okay.
The Canberra and the QE2 were used for troop transport. Another one was a former educational cruise ship and was converted to hospital.
Former educational.
Yep. Starts with the letter U, same name as a country.
Uruguay?
Ukraine.
You kidding?
Uzbekistan?
The United
It's-
States?
It says the SS Uganda, Jim?
I said Uganda.
I'm sorry. I'm
Really?
sorry. That's my bad ear. And the last one was a car and passenger ferry that was converted to a very small troop transport. Starts with the letter N.
I have no idea
That-
where the
that-
car ferries went.
Yeah.
The Nina.
The Pinta?
No, it was the Norland, is what it says here. The Norland
okay.
was converted. So, yeah, just interesting.
Interesting.
Name 3 sports where you win, but you have to go backwards.
Rowing?
Golf.
Rowing. I don't have golf. Golf would have been a good way to interpret this, but I've got
Oh,
rowing.
you're facing backward.
Here. You're facing
Oh,
backwards.
Not your score.
You're facing backwards.
Oh, pole vault?
No, that's not what it says here, but I would agree with that.
High jump.
Yep, pole vault, high jump, they fit that, but that's not what it says here.
What else going backwards?
There's one where you're literally racing against other people, also going backwards.
Why?
Not rowing as a team. This is an individual sport.
Is
This
it,
is tough.
is it on a
I
bike?
love this.
On a bike? No.
No, not on a bike. It is an Olympic sport.
What?
Michael Phelps was really good at it.
Oh, backstroke.
Backstroke.
Stroke,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. And the last one apparently is going to be was a test Olympic sport, but mostly it's just for like family reunions and
Tug of war.
tug of war is the other
Because
one.
remember, Sister, what's her face, participated in that.
Sister what's her?
No, remember she was a guest on our show.
Oh, Sister Erin?
Thank you.
Sister Erin
You
McDonald.
couldn't remember either
Okay.
stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, she was talking about nuns with, fun nuns or something
Fun-
like that.
Fun nuns.
Nuns having fun.
Nuns playing tug of war. It's the way to go. Let me
No,
tell
but she had
ya.
pictures of like these nuns in their habits,
she did.
pulling on a rope.
Organized joy, as one of my Sister of Mercy friends used to say.
The last time
That's like something Gil Mary Bauer would say. Actually.
It was Dolores Naraka that used to say that. And she used to roll her eyes as she did.
the last time I saw Sister Erin McDonald, I walked out of the main office in chemistry, and she was walking by, and she stopped, and she put her hands on her hip and says, "Give account of yourself." Jeez. Like,
I mean,
yes,
you
ma'am.
gotta admit, she had some great stories about
She-
meeting.
yeah,
She's
she-
a nun, and you're
yeah.
a good Catholic,
Yeah,
so
I
no doubt
know,
it was
I-
traumatic.
Yeah,
Better that you're a good Catholic.
better.
I loved her story about going to the Vatican. She didn't have anything to wear.
That's
remember?
right. She made it all the way there, but didn't know she was going to meet the Pope, so did not have nice clothes. No, that's right. I got a feeling Pope Bob wouldn't care about that.
No,
You know,
I don't think
throwing it out
Francis
there.
would have either.
Yeah, just don't show
I
up the Cubs
kinda
hat,
wish
right?
She had washed the feet of the poor instead of washing the feet of 13 priests, or what?
Yeah.
That seemed a little kind
A
of off
little bit
to
weird.
me, but
A little bit weird. It's a weird tradition in the church. I know I've made this thing before, and I love being quote unquote love being Catholic. But if you go to Holy Thursday Mass and you see 5 priests laying face down in front of the altar for like about 10 minutes straight, you're like, yeah, this is weird. Like that's just something else gonna happen here. Like, you know what I mean? Hey, this is the Mass where we
humble
celebrate
before God.
priests.
Gil Mary had to do that when she took her final vows.
I bet she did.
And her younger brothers, who were in the pew right next to where she was prostrate on the floor, said, "Is Mary Ann dead?"
Good piece of trivia, by the way, for Michiganders. This is good. Who was the only sitting U.S. president who marched across the Mackinac Bridge for the annual Labor Day walk?
Gerald Ford.
No.
Clinton, wouldn't
that would make a lot of sense.
It would.
And Clinton almost makes a lot of sense. But this is, aside from the other idea that you have that would make very little sense, the other one that would make very little sense.
Obama?
Not Obama. Obama makes sense to me. That he would
Obama
be
makes sense too, but it
Ronald
was
Reagan.
It wasn't Reagan. That's a
Oh,
good
Bush.
guess. That
Maybe
doesn't make
Bush?
sense. It was H.W. actually.
Oh,
who did
okay,
it. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
H.W. Bush.
He walked across the whole thing.
That was the Republican government.
Those were the
who voted
'80s,
for
right? You know. But who was governor at the time? Because I feel like they were chummy. Engler,
Engler,
right?
John
so
Engler, yeah.
that
well, the
made a
most
lot of sense.
pro-labor recent president was Biden.
Sure.
Yeah.
He
He
would have
actually
made
came
sense
here
too.
and, you
yeah,
know.
that would have made sense.
Well, I
too.
think he appeared in the parade here in Detroit.
The Labor Day parade.
Yeah.
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 Was it a windy day? Because they could have blown him off the bridge.
If it was a Yugo, it would have blown off. Yep.
yes.
You go. Oh no. Leslie's going to listen to this and be afraid to go visit our son who recently committed to Michigan Tech University.
Well, you can have somebody
so-
drive her across.
Yeah. Well, he's going to do it.
Yeah.
What is Emma Morano's odd claim to fame? Last name Morano. I can't give you any other information.
Emma Morano.
Emma Morano is very well known. Yeah, for this very interesting thing.
Is it
Wow.
food related?
It's not food related. Good way to narrow it down.
Music related?
It's not music related.
Is it an invention?
It's not an
Place
invention.
or thing?
Is she a writer?
She did not do anything besides last a really long
Is
time.
it like a world record?
It's sort of a world record.
She's the world's
Oh,
oldest.
she held her breath underwater the longest.
Oldest, but with a very specific spin on it.
She's the oldest.
We'll have to
Whirling
look her
dervish.
up after the show. So she passed in 2017. This is your last hint. At the age of 117 years.
Oh.
Wow.
So she was the last person according to the United States
That was
Census.
born in the 1800s.
They're born in the 1800s. Yes, that's right. And she just died a few years ago. That's like
amazing.
mind-blowing.
Well, all of my grandparents were born in the 1800s.
Well, and I think that there's the John Tyler thing about to happen, how he married the very young woman,
Yeah.
and he has a grandson who's alive today that walks around. Like, that's weird, man. Like, that's just the weirdest thing I've ever heard. You have to look it up. It's messed up, man.
Okay.
But unfortunately, we are counting down the final seconds here, Profs. Always a lot of fun, but the time has come for us to say goodbye. Beth,
Goodbye.
Kieran,
Bye-bye.
Dan,
Goodbye.
Jim,
Goodbye.
Dave,
See ya.
Stephen,
Goodbye.
and Heather.
Bye-bye.
And now these words from University of Detroit Mercy.
You can email Ask the Professor at atp@udmercy.edu or visit the Ask the Professor Facebook page.
Ask the Professor is produced and directed by Michael Jason and Brian Masonville, and our executive producer is Professor Jason Roach. Until next week, I'm your host, Matt Maggio.